And we are back, baby. And I feel like I was off. Yes, and I was out for a week, y'all. We still had the content flowing, but I just got back from a cruise, and I'm so happy to be
How was
back
that
in front of
cruise?
y'all. Man, let me tell you, it was good. I ain't gonna lie to you. We had a good couple destinations. The funniest shit, there was a couple that missed the boat in Honduras. They missed the ship. They fucked up.
So they live in Honduras now?
They trying to get back. They but it was a good week. It was very nice to reset. It was very humbling and ready to get back with y'all. Huh?
Nobody fell off this time,
Nobody fell off.
huh? Okay, good,
God
good,
willing.
good, good.
God willing, right? It's just
I know
being
them bottomless mimosas on the boat, man. People fall right off of that.
brother, let me tell you, the amount of mudslides that I had is crazy. I had mudslides, so many Miami Vices, tequila sunrises, Jack
What's
and
a
Coke.
Miami Vice?
Oh, Miami Vice is a pina colada mixed with like a strawberry daiquiri, I think something like that.
Okay.
And that's what they call them. I had it on shit. I was knocking them hoes back like it was nine.
Yeah, yeah. You was enjoying yourself, huh? Yeah, you celebrated a birthday.
Yes, I did on Friday, Big 31. You know what it is. Aquarius gang out there. If y'all out here, it's all, and
Aquarius
you already
gang
know
right
it's
here.
Black History Month too. We back at it. Stop playing with the boy. We celebrated all goddamn month. And we celebrated yesterday. You know why we celebrating about yesterday? Because fuck boy Mahomes didn't get a goddamn another Super Bowl, baby. Let's get it.
Man, I celebrated my birthday on Saturday, so really cool experience. I got to meet Drew Brees, and I got a signed autograph football from him as well. He
Yeah, happy
wasn't even.
belated, my G.
Thank you, thank you. He wasn't even scheduled to be at the NFL experience, but my wife, she got a text on her phone that said he was going to be at the Wilson Ball Factory deal, and it was like a weird kind of notification that it disappeared as soon as she got it because we were waiting for Justin Jefferson to come out in the Snickers area, and he was
Mm,
like 30 minutes late. He like never came out, and I'm sitting
yeah.
there waiting. She got the notification. She's like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." She went to
Mm.
go run and find Drew Brees, and nobody around us believed because everybody was looking on the app and they didn't see it. They didn't see
Mm,
it, and I stayed for like another 10 minutes. Jets never came out. I said, "Come on, Jets." And then
yeah.
I went over there. We got in the front row. Wasn't a lot of people at first. It got crowded real fast, and Breeze came out there with his whole family, all of his
Hey.
kids. Yeah, he was real cool though. His family, they came in, and all of them, all four boys and one girl, and like somebody else's wife was there. They came and stood right in front of us, and
Mm,
we're like, oh man, they was staying right in front of us. And they looked, they kind of noticed there people behind them. They actually sat on the ground so everybody could see. So it was real
hey,
cool
I know you
about
was,
it. My
man. I
wife was
know.
chatting up Miss Breeze, and
Hey,
she was saying your husband needs to run for mayor. And she's like,
what the?
yeah, she's like, he can't. I curse too much. I'm like, I
He
don't
said,
know. Cursing in politics, I don't think that's taboo anymore. So you should
nah,
still go for it. I know you'd win in this town.
I know that was an out of body experience for you meeting the Super Bowl winning quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees, and
Yeah,
getting his
Drew.
signature, man.
Yeah, Drew Brees is like, I know everybody has their goat, but he's our goat because, after Hurricane Katrina, we weren't sure if the team was even coming back because the team played like a shit season in San Antonio, and we had the hurricane, we were rebuilding, and that block kick from Steve Gleason um, kind of set us off on the path to where not too much later, Breeze brought us a Super Bowl, and the rest is history. So that was pretty damn cool. Like he's more important to me than any other kind of player, maybe outside of like Kobe Bryant. But
Did you
I'm
run
not gonna
into
get
our
to meet
boy?
him.
Did you run into our boy Jameis Winston?
No, he was all over town, but I didn't get a chance to meet him. I did meet who did I meet? I met Lad McConkey, got a picture with Lad. Trey McBride, I let him know how he won me a lot of money in my
You ran
fantasy.
into our boy BTJ? Yeah, yeah.
BTJ, yeah, kind of low key. It was cool. And also JSN.
Oh
JSN
yeah, I
kind of
saw
looked
that.
like
Yeah,
you. Came in with the shades, too cool for school.
yeah.
But he was cool as hell too. He got pictures and autographs from all of them. It was like I was just out there fangirling, meeting all of my the people on my fantasy teams, and kind of listening to them get interviewed, and kind of chatting it up with them for a few minutes. It was really damn cool, to be honest with you.
Hell
Hopefully
yeah,
the
man.
Super Bowl comes back soon. If it comes to Tampa, I might have to go out to Tampa and
So let's talk about this.
get out
Let's
there.
talk about this actual game. It was a whooping for the most part. I was actually quite surprised how Mahomes went out like that. It also wasn't too much of a surprise because even before the Super Bowl, when I was in the grocery store, we ran into somebody and they were just like we randomly started talking in the aisle, and he was like, "Who do you think gonna win today?" I was like, "The Eagles," and I hate to say it, and it makes me sick to my stomach, but it's going to be the Eagles just because
Hmm.
I already thought that they were the better talented team. They already but they had a better offense, they had a better defense, and honestly, I've said it multiple times throughout the season with the Kansas City Chiefs. Their offense is slow. They have multiple guys that do the same shit except for Xavier Worthy, who happened to be what the only person who was doing work all
In garbage
game.
time.
Like he was the only person doing the because I mean, shoot, what else they had? You have old ass Kelsey, you got old ass Hopkins. You got old ass Kareem Hunt. You
Hmm.
got slow ass Pacheco, who has not looked good since coming back from injury. Let me note that again. Pacheco, what has Honcho been telling y'all for the last 2 months? Dump your Pacheco shares. It's time to get rid. The City Chiefs are going to go draft a running back, and it's going to be finito for Pacheco if you don't get this shit together. It's not looking good for the boy. The Kansas City Chiefs offense needs a whole rebuild at this point because, I mean, yes, they are going to get Rasheed Rice back, and he might only serve 3, 4 game suspension. You
Hmm.
still got to hope that he comes back from that knee injury like the same player he was before. I hope he does because I'm one of those people who still think he is a top 6, top 8 receiver in Dynasty when healthy. He was showing that he was a top 6, top 8 receiver in Dynasty before his injury. So it was a bad look for Mahomes, who I already didn't consider in my top 5 QB in Dynasty. I just think with the situation around him, unless they fix it, this NFL draft and then free agency, depending on what they do,
Hmm.
Like we just saw it. Some people's goal, even Mahomes can overcome a average offense.
Well, I think the biggest part of this whole game was just the way Philadelphia dominated both lines. I mean, they got great protection. I mean, Saquon didn't have his best game because that was Kansas City whole game plan was to stop Saquon and make Jalen Hurts beat him, which he did. But the fact that Kansas City could not block uh, Philadelphia's defensive line, which they weren't even blitzing, and Kansas City's offensive line was just getting their ass kicked from the beginning of the game. I remember very early on, they were crashing the offensive line, and they had Mahomes running for his life. And I was thinking, if they can't protect Mahomes can make some crazy shit out of pressure, and he's real good at escaping pressure. But when you got three guys coming at you, you can't escape that pressure too good. And I actually saw it look like he kind of bust his head early on in the game, so he might have been
I saw a tweet about
playing with
that.
a
Yeah.
little bit of a brain injury. But it didn't matter if he was fully healthy. He didn't. He was not gonna.
He was
He
not
was
looking
not.
good.
He was not gonna beat this Philadelphia team. Philadelphia, like I've said for a while, about this game. Kansas City has the best quarterback. You know, and every other position, Philadelphia Philadelphia is just that much better across the board. I mean, you can just go down
It
the
was
line.
crazy.
You can
It was
even have a debate for Dallas Goddard and Travis Kelsey. Travis Kelsey ain't the guy he used to be, and Dallas Goddard's a pretty damn good tight end, and that's one of the few places you can debate. Maybe the linebacking core is what and what, but Philadelphia has a better defensive line across the board.
100%.
They,
Yeah.
they have a better secondary, bar none. The receivers are not even a question. The
Shout
running
out to
back,
Vic.
you got a 2,000
Yeah.
yard Saquon Barkley against Samaje Perine and Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco.
It just didn't look
That
good, man.
Kansas City hasn't had a running game in a long time, and that's the only thing that could have helped him out. So I would look almost for Kansas City to just wipe the slate clean. They may
It's
even
time.
draft two running backs in this draft because they need somebody that's going to take some of the heat off of Mahomes. A real solid running back, and they need to fix the offensive line because if they can't protect Patrick Mahomes,
It's
he might
time.
not even get this far next year.
It was. I felt kind of bad towards maybe the third quarter with Mahomes because out the gate, this man was running for his life. He was getting smacked. He looked like he never got comfortable in the pocket. He didn't have time to throw, and then when he did have time to throw, you had guys dropping the ball. So shit was crazy. You know what I mean?
Hey,
And it was what makes me a little nervous. And don't get me wrong, I still think Mahomes is in football in general, he's the
hmm
best quarterback in football. There, bar none. And but there's so many things that you have to do for that offense in this. And could they do it? Sure. There, I think they Patrick Mahomes is going to go into the offseason and he's
hmm
going to be quite pissed off that he lost the Super Bowl. So I think the Chiefs are going to do what they can to put him in position to be better. I think they said they're going to think about bringing Hollywood Brown back. I don't think that's the kind of firepower that I'm personally thinking about. I think they need something greater than Hollywood Brown than what they could get rid of Juju. It's time to Juju on the beat, Juju his ass up out of here. All right,
You,
he that's what
you you know who would look good in Kansas City?
who.
Tyreek Hill.
I know he wishes definitely. I know he wishes he could. And
Man, I'm
shout
not
out to
gonna lie.
him.
They won two championships since he's left, but that offense has not been the same since he's left. They have slowly morphed Patrick Mahomes into fucking Alex Smith. I said it and people laugh, but the proof is in the pudding. You got a guy who's the fastest guy in the entire league, Xavier Worthy, and he is sitting at 27th in yards per route run. I mean, you can't protect, you can't get down the field, you don't have a sexy offense with the best quarterback in the league. So something has to give, and hopefully, as a dynasty owner, this prompts a change with Kansas City, where they start to believe. I know the axiom, defense wins championships, but you got to score too. It's a two-way street. If you can't score if you can't get a first down, but one first down in the whole first half, you gotta
That shit
fucking
was
lose the
crazy.
game. You're not gonna
Yeah.
win if you can't score. This ain't your defense is really good, but you're not the Baltimore Ravens winning with Trent Dilfer. Um, you have to score points, and you may be able to win a lot of games, but you will get beat at some point if you can't put up 30 when you need it.
So I got to ask you a question, Rocco. After yesterday's game with Jalen Hurts being named Super Bowl MVP, where has Jalen Hurts moved up your rankings from his performance yesterday? Speaking with my boy Jay, our boy Jay,
hmm
and my newfound appreciation of, and don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts game person, him as a person of what his whole college journey. If you follow him through college and what he had to come through, getting benched and having to transfer out. to Oklahoma. I
Mm.
and then for him to finally get that Super Bowl, man, is and for and I hate to say because I'm a Cowboys fan, but game respects game. You know what I mean? And Jalen Hurts showed to me that he is a bona fide top five quarterback in the NFL. He might not win, like he might not throw the ball. He might not win like a Mahomes. He might not win like a Josh. Well, I guess if you even say a Josh Allen, even where
It,
he's a
it,
drop
it,
back passer, he's not that.
it's
But
it's
I
it's
can respect
different.
it. Yeah,
It's different. Josh Allen may be the most fun watch just because he makes those wild plays like
he has a better
you know
arm.
you can't believe the shit you just saw. Like not only the arm,
Mhm.
just the way he runs, like with no care for like his getting physically hurt out there, and just the way he like beats people, and
Yeah,
it's
six
just a
five.
little bit, it's a little bit different. I know he's a more fun player, um,
He's a
but
white Cam Newton.
but Hurts, Hurts is like he's also similar to Cam Newton, but he's more surgical, if that's the word, in the way he operates,
I
and
think
he's
he's a
got the
better
most.
pre-processor. Yeah,
Yeah, he's definitely a better processor. He gets the team into the right plays, and they have the most unstoppable play in the league. Which you know, I know Josh Allen tried to do it, but he couldn't. He couldn't convert allegedly against the Chiefs when he needed to. So
mm,
Jalen Hurts has the most unstoppable play. He's a great processor. He's got great weapons to throw to, and he's just like the perfect guy for this Philadelphia team. A very underrated rusher. I know coming into the game, I was a little bit worried about his wheels because he got kind of banged up, at
mm-hmm.
the end of his last game. But he showed it off a couple times where he escaped pressure and got about 10 more yards than I thought he would, going up the sideline. So real life, I mean, there's no way you can't keep him in your top five. Dynasty, I have him as my QB4,
Mm.
um, and I think he'd be great to have on my team. He's going one way, and Patrick Mahomes is going the other way right
Which is crazy to say. Could we see? And if I do see this, I'm gonna smack the shit out of one of y'all. Could we see Jalen Hurts going at that 101 next year? And he
now.
start
No,
well, not even next year. Any startup drafts coming
no.
after the Super Bowl.
I mean, you might see it, but I wouldn't do it. He's
He's not.
my
I wouldn't do
four.
that shit. He said,
He,
"I
he's
wouldn't do
my
that dumb shit."
he's my four. There's plenty of reasons. Um,
You go Jaden Daniels though every time
Jaden
before.
Daniels, Jaden Daniels every time. I got Jaden Daniels twice because the rest of the leagues haven't figured out that he's the 101. So I'm just taking the value wherever I can get him. Um, let's see. I just went over this with our new buddy Chris
Yeah,
Knowles from Texas. I got it real quick. I got a JD5, Lamar, Josh Allen, Hurts, Burrow,
yeah.
and that's my top five. Real solid
So,
in my dynasty leagues.
so after the Super Bowl, which I really was tuned in for the halftime show because sometimes you got to pop out and show. Can't say it, but I
Yeah,
think
you
that was
like the
the
halftime show?
as I'm in the middle. I thought it was decent. I thought it was okay. I didn't expect him to play not like us and you know go at Drake like that. That's the beef. That's kind of the beef I was tuning into. That's what we was all locked in with. It was okay. But I think
This
we
I
seen
thought
better
the
though.
sound quality wasn't great. Like I
Mm.
couldn't hear the
Yeah.
words that great. Like it seemed like the
Mm.
crowd was louder than the words.
Mhm.
But I thought the energy was good. I thought like some of the symbolism was really cool, and I'm still kind
At
of
that part,
uncovering
yeah,
some of that.
yeah,
And the anticipation for him going not like us, like he teased it a couple times,
yeah. I was like, oh,
and
he ain't gonna do
everybody was going crazy.
it.
Well, they said he was going to do it. I read somewhere, you don't know if these things are true, but I read somewhere, Samuel L. Jackson. I've been loving him for a long time. He's one of my favorite actors in Hollywood. Having him out there, and the kind of anticipation of getting to that song, and that portion didn't disappoint. Some of the other stuff was kind of tame compared to that, especially the sound quality.
Yeah,
That was my big beef with it. But yeah,
it was
yeah,
okay.
I think everybody fell asleep after that portion.
It was just okay, But when I heard the crowd scream "A minor," I lost it. I lost it. I was like, "Bruh, I know Drake somewhere punching air."
Yeah, I think I seen a meme with him and Patrick Mahomes AI picture looking mad as
Mm.
hell.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But then you had to come back and watch the rest of that ass whooping that Mahomes got. I really thought there was going to be a certain point where they were going to pull him out the game low key because the way he was, some of those injuries, I thought he could get hurt. They were getting hit. He was getting hit in the legs, but he was doing some Houdini shit at the same time. That's one thing. That's one thing that I always like respect about him. But one of my coworkers, brought this up to me, which is a great transition to our next topic. He said, Kellen Moore is now a Super Bowl winning coach. And I had to sit with that for a little bit.
Coach
I had to
Chiefs.
go, I had to go sit my little ass in a corner and ponder that thought real quick. Kellen Moore won a Super Bowl before my goddamn Cowboys.
Coach Chiefs.
And he is looking like the new New Orleans Saints head coach. How do you feel about that?
Um, I'm kind of mid about it, honestly. You know, uh, we don't really know what this is going to be, and these type of assistant coach hires can, kind of they can kind of go either way. But after getting rejected by, every coaching candidate out there, it's good that we actually have a name that we can go with at this point. But yeah, I mean he's young. I know just a few weeks ago, you and some other fellow fourth in fantasy brethren told me he was shit. So it's crazy what a couple games will do. Um, and he went from a guy we were hoping would get the fuck off my team to, oh man, come back, Coach Kellen. Um, but you know, this is what I'm thinking. He's
Mm-hmm.
not coming
Lay
here
on
to
us.
coach Derek fucking Carr, and if he can come in and have the gravitas to get Carr in his bag sent packing,
Mm.
I'm with it.
No, we got good news this week. Well, not even good news. We got big news this week. That could be big news for Derek Carr. Them boys said, Aaron Rodgers, get the fuck on, man. Kick rocks, get out the building. We don't want you. We're starting over. A la vista. It's finito. Y'all want me to keep going? Because I can. Which is they told Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, you don't got it anymore. You're
Bye
not that
bye.
guy. Bye bye. Did you expect that? Or did you think they were gonna give him one more year?
Um, I kind of think that Aaron Rodgers is a dick, so I don't think anybody in the whole fucking team liked him. So I mean, he got everybody he could fired, and then his buddy Devontae Adams, old ass, comes in, and then he magically stops throwing to Garrett Wilson. So yeah, fuck that
He said, fuck
guy.
that guy. He
Hopefully, what would be perfect, honestly.
Hmm?
The early thoughts on Aaron Rodgers possibly going to Pittsburgh
I've
and
heard that
playing in that
too.
boring ass Arthur Smith offense.
I've heard
I
that
think that's a
too.
match made in heaven. Just put everybody I don't like over there. Get George Pickens out of there. Send him
I heard
anywhere.
I've heard reports about him too that he might be on a thin leash coming up,
Send
with
him
his injuries.
anywhere. I don't care. Just get him out of there. Get him out of an Arthur Smith offense. and we're good. I can just completely take Pittsburgh players off of my draft list. I can. I actually should start trading every last Pittsburgh piece, but they really don't have any value. So,
Hmm.
how can I get rid of them?
Well, who
Um,
do you think? What do you think that the Jets do with that QB position? Do you think? Hey, I hate to say it, Sam Darnold could make his return back to the promised land, and redeem his career with the Jets.
early
Mm,
reports are that Oakland, at least Las Vegas, I should say. I
mhm.
always get that confused. Is early leader in the clubhouse. That would make sense. I don't think he can go back to New York because
Too much
I don't think the
PTSD.
pressure. I don't think the pressure. I don't. Certain people can't play in New York.
Mm.
It's a grindhouse out there, and just certain
Hot
people
Twinkie,
don't have the personality for it. So I
soft.
don't think he is going to go back to New York. I could see him going to Vegas or
I can see
some other
Vegas.
team.
I can see
Um,
Vegas.
yeah, I think that's an option for him. New York, uh,
I heard the
I
job.
could see them
I heard.
draft. I could see them draft a guy,
Mhm.
maybe
I
a
like it.
Cam Ward. A Cam Ward would put asses in seats, with his highlight plays. Just stay for the highlights. Don't stay for the sacks he ate because he wouldn't get rid of the ball.
Mm.
But he would be fun.
Mm.
He would be fun, and he would sell tickets. And I have confidence that he can get my man Garrett Wilson the ball. So that would be cool.
Mhm.
But
So, well,
it could be a number of guys. It could be him. It could be Kirk Cousins once he gets released. But I feel like
oh,
they should be investing in a young talent. They've gone through the retread
the
mode, and
old
it hasn't
quarterback.
worked for them.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, I know they're kind of scared to draft young quarterbacks after the non-success they've had with Geno Smith and Sam Darnold, but I think they're gonna have to go to that well one more time.
I think so too. And shoot, you're starting new with a fresh coach. Why not, right? Give
Hmm.
him, and then, unless you can get one of, I mean, maybe a Justin Fields, like that. Which that was my next follow up thought. To if Aaron Rodgers does end up going to Pittsburgh, I don't see Justin Fields resigning in Pittsburgh unless you think Rodgers is basically done after this year. He says he waits another year, and I might be potentially the quarterback after Aaron Rodgers retires. Do you think Justin Fields stays in Pittsburgh, or you think he's trying to go get a starting position now?
Um, it seems like to me, just kind of based off of some of the comments he's made in the media and some of the things I saw on Hard Knocks, I feel like you know he he is kind of feels good about the stability of that organization with Mike Tomlin. I think he has a good relationship with Mike Tomlin, and I can see him maybe staying there and trying to get a little bit more seasoning uh, with Mike Tomlin and possibly letting one more bridge quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, play in front of him because there's no guarantee that Rodgers can make it through a full season. I mean, he was broken and beat down for the
Well,
Jets by the end of the season, and he's old as shit, so there's no guarantee that Rodgers will play a full 17 games. So I can see him kind of sticking with Pittsburgh unless somebody just wows him with a contract to be their starting quarterback, which I think is kind of unlikely because I think there'll be other options on the market, and you got a couple rookie quarterbacks incoming. So I don't know if there's a guaranteed starting position out there other than Pittsburgh rolling with him.
mhm. And one of the names that you did bring up, Kirk Cousins, I just saw some information about him the other day that there has been no contact between him and the Atlanta Falcons all offseason since the end of the season. Not
Yeah, he's gonna
surprised
get
by
cut.
that. Yeah, he's a
He's
wrap. Yeah.
he's one of the most obvious cut candidates we've ever seen. You know, heard a lot about him in Cleveland as being like a bridge quarterback. So I can see that he's got a relationship with Kevin Stefanski. So I can see that him catching on with somebody as a bridge quarterback, a short term option. But he's not very long for the league. And all of these guys that are kind of bridge quarterbacks are kind of maybe guys. I could see a lot of them getting nuked by the 2026 draft, which is very quarterback centric, at least on paper. A couple years out. So
Yeah,
um,
if you
this
if
may
you
be
really think
a.
about it,
Mhm,
If the Cleveland Browns, right? We just had Miles Garrett ask for a trade. You trade him, you get a bridge quarterback for a year, and you go and you tank and you try to get Archie what's his boy Arch Manning.
mhm.
Literally, that's what you basically get picks, go get your young quarterback. That's why I see for the Cleveland Browns because Deshaun Watson is finito. Is is curtains. Is if you have Deshaun Watson as your quarterback in Dynasty right now, he's not going to play another snap again, my boy. Is and if he is, it's a backup. And I think his career is over. I hate to say that. Maybe I don't
Very well
actually.
could be.
Like he's what I'm thinking about that trade once again. Browns, you get anyway. We're not even going to go down that because I could really just lay that whole organization down. But no, it's going to be fun to see where certain guys end up. Right? There's so many teams that need a quarterback now. I still think Giants end up drafting one. Tennessee Titans are one of them, which is a
Mhm.
toss up. With who I've heard they could give Will Levis another year. Maybe they draft Cam Ward. Maybe they bring in a veteran. It's
They could
I
also
don't know.
trade down.
They could also trade down if they like Jackson Dart. Maybe you could see that going there. We still have a Jalen Mill. Somebody's going to fall in love with Jalen Milrow somewhere in this draft process, and we're going to see maybe someone draft him higher than we think. Maybe it is the Browns or an organization where he doesn't have to come in that will do a bridge quarterback and he doesn't have to come in immediately to be, you know, the guy. He can develop and then eventually like go the Jordan Love route where you don't play for
Mhm.
like your first 4 or 5 years. You develop, then now it's your starting gig. So that's my little input.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're gonna see, quite a few musical chairs at the quarterback position, and it could really impact some of the auxiliary weapons, the receivers, the running game. All of this has a trickle down effect. So this is the fun season. I mean,
I'm telling you.
we're officially football season is officially ended, and now we are officially in NFL free agency slash NFL draft season.
Hmm.
So this is what we talk about when we talk about team building. This is prime time for you to be out there, actively scouting
I'm
and making
telling you,
moves and
yes.
trades for your dynasty teams because a lot of people are asleep at this time of year.
What
So,
Rocco's talking about.
the people that are paying attention, you already have an edge on your league mates. And that's how you create perpetual winning teams that win year over year. And it's not a flash in the pan and get lucky with one championship. This is how you always be in contention by
Mm.
paying attention at this time of year, killing your draft, making trades, uh, getting rid of parts that are about to lose value,
Mm.
and picking up pieces that will gain value and draft picks on top.
Yes.
So this is the time you have a transformative running back class incoming. So if you are weak at running back, good for you. Hopefully you have the draft picks to restock because it's going to be a league altering running back event that's
Mm.
incoming.
And we're gonna talk about this more throughout the week. There's a few things, and 100% everything Rocco just said. And one of the things that I will even add is following coaching hires. And that's not just offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators. That's also QB coaches. That's also wide receiver coaches, RB coaches, coaches that get hired from the college ranks that can sometimes help you get an inkling on certain guys that teams could potentially fall in love with.
Hmm.
We'll go more into that in our next episode of recent coaching hires. I like to particularly talk about some of the hires that the Dallas Cowboys have recently made because we have done something that we haven't done since I've personally liked the Cowboys, and that's hire two college coaches. So they're in they very much the colleges they came from have players that I'm pretty much very much interested in and that we could be looking for. So we're gonna go into that in our next episode and it's going. We're back, baby. I'm just happy, man. There's more episodes, more content.
Hmm.
We just released our 50th video, whether it's a video, a short, or one of our longer formats. Our 50th video since us beginning at the beginning of November. We're pushing, grinding, knocking out content, putting out content, and there's still more to go. We're almost about to hit 1K on YouTube. We're on our way on Blue Sky, and we're just trying to figure out the ways to further give you content and bring the vibes, baby. But until next time, it was a great show. This is me, my man Rocco. I'm your boy Honcho,
Hmm.
and we got more to come. More new faces on the way. Stay tuned now, cause we coming.
Like, share, subscribe. If you like what you saw on this show, like, share, and subscribe. That's the best way of supporting us.
Yes. Until next time, thank you, everyone.